Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa taruvesya kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Nishwaram. Hare Krishna. So we were discussing about Dhruva Maharaj. We were discussing about Dhruva Maharaj getting instructions from Swayambhuva Manu, and we were discussing about 3 different levels of instructions given by Swayambhuva Manu to Dhruva Maharaj. Anyone remembers anything about it? Yes. What happened? Everyone is silent.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think we are discussing Swayambhuva Muni was instructing Dhruva Maharaj and some of the lessons that we learned from that discussion. Say, unnecessarily we should not hurt anybody. We should not give pain to anybody. We should not kill. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj was killing all the Jakshas because only one person was responsible, but he was trying to kill all the Jakshas, although everybody was not responsible to kill his brother Uttama.
Okay, so this was one first instruction that Swayambhuva Manu gave, that we should not kill unnecessarily. Okay, anything else? Anyone else? Okay, Uddharan Krishna Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Then the next level of instructions which were given that.
So the first level of instruction was based on Dharma Shastras. How through Dharma Shastras it is important that we follow the instructions of morality and ethics. So what is the basis foundation of morality and ethics? What is the basic foundation? Okay, scriptures definitely, but there are so many scriptures. So many scriptures say so many things. Okay. Basis, foundation of morality.
We should not kill innocent people by innocent.
Yeah, very good. We should not harm anyone who is innocent. We should not harm anyone. So that is the basis, because there are so many scriptures speak so many things, but the basis of morality is, dharmic principle is, rather there is one sloka in one Purana. It says, it defines punya and defines papa. Punya is defined as when you really do anything good to others, or you don't, you really take care of others, that is punya. And papa is when you really do some harm to others. So when you do some harm, there is papa. When you do some good to others, it is punya. So in that way, the basis of moral principles are not harming any innocent person or anyone as per se, until unless you are authorized to give some punishment or something like that. Yeah, so that's what. So higher level is, yes, Udharan Krishna, continue.
The higher level is then Bhakti Shastra. That devotional service to God.
Yeah, higher level is Bhakti Shastras, devotional service to the Lord. And what is the goal of devotional service of the Lord?
Going back to Godhead.
Going back to Godhead. Anyone has any confusion? At least Srila Prabhupada has made one thing very clear, that the goal of life is khao piyo maja karo. Huh? Like Parul Mataji in Simla. What do you think goal of life is in Simla? It's the most beautiful place, hill station. Yes, Parul Mataji. Okay, so do you think in Simla people are thinking like this?
No.
So even if some devotees in ISKCON go to Simla, they will never get distracted. What is the goal of life? I went to Simla, my goodness, it's really, really romantic atmosphere. You go to different places. It's very, very, you will be inspired for, there are so many avenues. But we need to understand that whatever facilities are there in this material world, all these facilities should be used by a devotee to keep that aim in life, that is going back to Godhead. And that's what devotional service is. And then highest level is?
Pure devotional service.
Yeah, pure devotional service. Suddha Bhakti Shastras. And the Suddha Bhakti Shastras, pure devotional service, go much beyond that. I will not just practice devotional service, I will help so many people in practicing devotional service. And also, as its main motto is to actually please Krishna. And we were discussing many examples. We discussed 3 examples. Food. What is food in?
Relationship and spiritual life.
And spiritual life. Yes, Selja Mataji will tell about food.
Yes, Prabhuji, food we see like we can, like the lower level is we can eat anything and everything.
Okay.
Like non-veg also we can eat, but if we follow Shastra, then and especially like compassionate towards, we should be compassionate towards living beings. So we avoid non-veg.
Yeah. So we follow vegetarianism. So that is Dharma Shastras. So there is Dharma Shastras, Bhakti Shastras, Suddha Bhakti Shastras. Yeah.
So Dharma Shastras says that we should not harm others, so we eat pure vegetarian.
Yes.
Then higher level to that is Bhakti Shastra, in which we offer to Lord and eat. That means it's a devotional service. Whatever we do, we just offer to Lord and we eat.
Yeah.
And higher to that is pure devotional service, in that we eat only those foods which is pleasing to the Lord. Like you gave example like in Jagannath Puri, the Lord is in Virabha. Very simple khichdi and simple rice without sugar. It's like half, it's served to Lord. So we should try to like what pleases the Lord the most, that we should follow in our daily.
Yeah, devotional service, even we can take pasta, pizza and all those things, and don't think that they are not prasadam. They are prasadam. They have the potency to take us back to Godhead. But Bhakti Shastras will only tell you how to go back to Godhead. They will not tell you beyond. So, how to love God, that they will not tell. How to love God, what pleases God. What pleases Krishna? Okay, Krishna loves this, then I will take. Otherwise, I will not take. Even if it is prasadam. Right? So, that is...
Like in Closing Bhakti, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it says that pure devotional service is Krishna Akarshini.
So, that is the last part. There are 6 qualities of pure devotional service. The last thing is Krishna Akarshini. When it's natural, if I do something which pleases Uddharan Krishna Prabhu, then naturally Uddharan Krishna Prabhu will get attracted to me. It's a relationship, right? So that's how pure devotional service is Krishna Akarshani, because we do something for pleasing Krishna, right? So we talk about food, and then we talked about relationships and also spiritual commitment. We'll not go more details. So we, after this, after the entire thing happened, Swayambhu Manu instructed Dhruva Maharaj. In the end, Swayambhu Manu said, ki you see, Dhruva, these yakshas whom you are killing, their leader is Kuber. And because you are killing them unnecessarily, Kuber has already become very angry. And it is not good that we unnecessarily anger other demigods. Kuber is the responsible man, and he's very dear to also Vishnu. Vishnu has appointed Kuber, and he is becoming angry because you are unnecessarily killing all his assistants. So you must immediately please Kuber by good words, appreciation, and immediately halt the killing. So Dhruva Maharaj understood, and Dhruva Maharaj immediately stopped the killing and fighting. And as soon as Dhruva Maharaj stopped the fighting and Swayambhu Manu left, Kuber came. And Kuber, in the next chapter, Kuber and Dhruva Maharaj is having discussion. Kuber is very, very pleased. I hope you know Kuber. We will discuss more about Kuber today. So all of us need Kuber in our life. So Kuber is coming and telling to Dhruva Maharaj that I am so pleased with you, and upon the instruction of your grandfather that you stopped the killing and all those things, and you are a devotee of the Lord. You made Supreme Lord at the age of 5. I am very, very happy that you are practicing devotional service, and it is good that you understood that you were showing unnecessary anger. You could have come to me and just asked, this one of your Aksha is doing like this. I want you to give punishment. All those things Kuber speaks. And here, after speaking all these things, Kuber asks that Dhruva, I want to give you some benedictions. And just imagine the god of wealth, the treasurer of the demigods, is coming to you and telling, I want to give you some benedictions. And Kuber has so much of wealth, so much of wealth. It is just like the World Bank president is coming to you and telling that I want to give you some donations, and really, really big donations. So in that way, Kuber is not just World Bank president, he is actually the head of the demigods. He is the protector of all the wealth. He is the god of the wealth who gives wealth to everyone. He is asking Dhruva Maharaj, and we will see what Dhruva Maharaj is replying. Okay, so this is text number 8. Yeah. So text 8, but I don't know which chapter. This is chapter 12. Chapter 12, text 8. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maitreya Uvacha. Okay. Everyone will get opportunity. Maitreya Uvacha. Saraj Raje Navaraya Chodito. Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati. Harau sababre chalitam smritim yaya. Taratyayatnena duratyayam tama. Maitreya Vacha. Bolo? Yes, who was some lady Some Mataji was.
Maitriya Vacha.
Saraj Rajena Varaya Chodita.
Rajena Varaya Chodito.
Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati.
Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati.
Harau sababre chalitam smritim yaya.
Harau sababre chalitam smritim yaya.
Taratyayatnena duratyayam tama.
Taratyayatnena duratyayam tama.
Yeah. Someone else would like to recite? Maitreya Vacha. Okay. Saraj Rajena Varaya Chodito. Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati. Harau sababre chalitam smritim yaya. Taratyayatnena duratyayam tama. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, when thus asked to accept a benediction from Kubera, the Yaksharaj, king of Yakshas, Dhruva Maharaj, that most elevated pure devotee who was intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for thus a person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. Purport. According to the opinion of expert followers of Vedic rites, there are different types of benediction in terms of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. These four principles are known as Chaturvargas. Of all the Chaturvargas, the benediction of liberation is considered to be the highest in the material world. To be enabled to cross over the material existence is known as the highest Purusartha or benediction for the human being. But Dhruva Maharaj wanted a benediction which surpasses even the highest Purusartha liberation. He wanted a benediction that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. This stage of life is called Panchama Purushartha. When a devotee comes to the platform of Panchama Purushartha, simply engaging in devotional service of the Lord, the fourth Purushartha liberation becomes very insignificant in his eyes. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has stated in this connection that for a devotee, liberation is a hellish condition of life. As for sense gratification, which is available in the heavenly planets, the devotee considers it to be a will of the wisp having no value in life. Yogis endeavor to control the senses, but for a devotee, controlling the senses is no difficulty at all. The senses are compared to serpents, but for a devotee, the serpent's poison teeth are broken. Thus, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati has analyzed all kinds of benedictions in this world, and he has clearly declared that for a pure devotee, they are all no significance. Dhruva Maharaj was also a Mahabhagavat, and his intelligence was very great, Mahamati. Unless one is very intelligent, one cannot take to devotional service or Krishna consciousness. Naturally, anyone who is a first-class devotee must be a first-class intelligent person, and therefore not interested in any kind of benediction within this material world. Dhruva Maharaj was offered a benediction by the king of the kings, Kuber, the treasurer of the demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to persons within this material world. He is described as the king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kuber, one cannot become a king. The king of kings personally offered Dhruva Maharaj any amount of riches, but he declined to accept them. Therefore, he is described here as Mahamati, very thoughtful or highly intellectual. So, we will take some of the words of this verse, which is very important. Sa Raja Rajena Varaya Chodita. So, this word Chodita is very special word. Anyone knows where this word comes? So this word chodita, it comes in, you will see in all the Gayatri mantras. All the Gayatri mantras have this word prachodayat, like the Brahma. So Om Bhur Bhuvashva Tasya Vitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Right? Mostly all the Gayatri mantras have this chodayat. So this chodayat, Srila Prabhupada translates this as being asked. But chodayat means just like someone, I don't take cakes and pizzas and all those things. But chodayat means, Prabhuji, maine banaya Prabhuji pizza. I have made it. Please take it na. Prabhuji, take it na. I have made it with so much of love. Please take it na. Please take it na. You are able to understand? Encouraging, inspiring, trying to coax. And take it. Why don't you take it? It's good for your life. It's you can think in this way that Kuber would have told. You can use it in Krishna's service. You can make 10 temples out of what wealth I am giving, and you can give donation to Sri Nitai Das also, and you can give donation to TOVP. You can give donations to ISKCON, different ISKCONs. You can do so much. Yes, Uddharan Krishna Prabhu, are you able to understand this? You can do so much. I am ready to give you so much of donations. You can make so many temples. You can really create so much of Krishna consciousness. So this is meaning of Chodita. So Dhruva Maharaj, it is clearly known that Dhruva Maharaj is a devotee of the Lord, and he is not going to use any amount of the wealth in anything else other than devotional service. Do you think Dhruva Maharaj will go to Bollywood movies taking the wealth of Kuber? Neither he is going to use it for Hollywood movies, nor he is going to create an animated movie in the Hollywood. He is going to use the money for devotional service only. There is no doubt about it. But still, with all the pressure, all the coaxing, all the so much of chodan, inspiration, encouragement, ले लो, इसको आप use करो भगवान की सेवा में. Dhruva Maharaj said, if you really want to give any benediction, you give me benediction that I do devotional service to the Lord. I remember the Lord constantly. So sometimes we think that if I get a lot of wealth, I can do a lot of service to the Lord. And because, like one devotee was telling, Ki Prabhuji, actually because I do not have money na, that is how I am having difficulty in practicing devotional service. I said, how Prabhuji? Now Prabhuji, you tell me, if I do not have money, can I go for yatra? How much you charge for yatra generally, Prabhuji? I said, it takes about 8,000 per person, 8.5 almost like that. Now imagine I don't have that money. Can I go for yatra? And then I said, okay, what else? Why you need money? Now Prabhuji, you take Zoom classes. Can you, if I don't have a smartphone, can I attend Zoom classes? I said, okay, you cannot attend Zoom classes. And Prabhuji, if you go to any program and anything, there is donations and all. If I don't have money, can I give donations? I said, okay. But then I said, to chant Hare Krishna, how much money you are spending every day? Yes? How many of you are spending money every day for chanting 16 rounds? Yes? So we think we have our own conception of devotional service, but here Kuber is offering Dhruva Maharaj an opportunity to do devotional service, offering wealth to do devotional service, and Dhruva Maharaj, having so much of wealth, he considers remembering the Supreme Lord And chanting the names of the Lord, doing kirtanam of the Lord is a much better service than just using the wealth in Lord's service. So in this regard, there are 3 levels of rendering service to Krishna. And we have to understand that there are 3 progressive levels of service to Krishna. The bottom line of anything is Sangha Siddha Bhakti or Sangha Siddha devotional service. Like Sangha Siddha Bhakti is like, let's say fasting. So you do fasting. Now if you do fasting, you don't do any bhakti. But if you attach the fasting, and because of the fasting you saved some time and you used, let's say you did fasting, and fasting means what? You didn't do cooking. Like Madhur Kohli Prabhu and Jyoti Mataji, they did fasting. Jyoti Mataji said, today we will fast. So that means what? Jyoti Mataji will save almost, how much time goes Jyoti Mataji for cooking? Yes, Madhur Kohli Prabhu, every day almost like 3 hours.
Yes.
3-4 hours for cooking, and again 1 hour at least for eating. So both of them decided that we will not do cooking, we will not do, today is fasting, we will just drink water and some glucose to keep us rejuvenated. And so we saved 4 hours. And what they did in the 4 hours, they thought that so many movies we have missed. Ye Prabhuji, the Sri Nitai Das has cheated us, and so many movies. So we will, in this 4 hours, we will see small clippings of all the movies. So this is not advancement. This is not the purpose of the fasting. You are able to understand? So fasting is not devotional service. When fasting is Sangha matlab attached, then it becomes devotional service. So if you fast and whatever time you save in that fasting of living, cooking and all those eating, and when you stop eating, then number 1, number 2, everything gets stopped. So that time if you spend in chanting Hare Krishna extra rounds or reading Srimad Bhagavatam extra round, then it is fasting, then it is bhakti. Otherwise, it is just a rejuvenation of your stomach. Like people nowadays fast, Ekadasi, and then they come and say to me, Prabhuji, Ekadasi fasting, scientists have found out that if you fast in Ekadasi, then by intermittent fasting, your body is rejuvenated. Scientists didn't have found out on Ekadasi day. Scientists have found out every 15 days you do fasting, your body is rejuvenated. And we are telling that Ekadasi is fasting, that see, body is rejuvenated. The purpose of fasting on Ekadasi is not to rejuvenate the body. The purpose of fasting in Ekadasi is to rejuvenate the soul. So if you just fast and with that remaining time, we are just sleeping, then it is better to eat prasad and do some service. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a revolutionary acharya in this regard. One time in the Gaudiya Math, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur this was an Ekadasi, and he was roaming around, and then he saw one brahmachari and he was sleeping on Ekadasi. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked, why is he sleeping? He is doing fasting. He is doing Nirjal fasting on Ekadasi, and that's why he is sleeping. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur got him up. I said, you eat rice and go for distributing books. Go and do preaching. That is the purport of Ekadasi. That doesn't mean that he is recommending that one should eat rice. But what I am telling is that the purpose of a fasting is to improve devotional service. The purpose of the fasting is like, if I just do Nirjala and take rest, I will advance because I am doing Nirjala on Ekadasi. Better you don't do Nirjala if your body is not ready to tolerate that Nirjala. You eat prasad and chant Hare Krishna extra rounds or do some devotional service to the Lord on Ekadasi. So fasting is Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Similarly, taking bath. If you take bath and go for start chanting Hare Krishna or doing something, then those chanting, those devotional service will be more refreshing, right? And if you don't fast, don't take bath and aise ud gaye, aise bed gaye, and you are sleeping, dozing and all those things, and all whole night actually all the mouth is giving bad breath and all, it's really, really horrible. So taking bath is not devotional service. When taking bath is attached to any devotional service, it becomes a devotional service. That's why it's called Sangha Siddha Bhakti. And then higher than that is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. Now, Aropa Siddha Bhakti is this. I will give Chandan Kumar Prabhu 1 crore rupees. Use it in Krishna's service. Yes, Prabhuji, I need not 1 crore, I need 10 crore in devotional service. So this is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. It is not direct bhakti, but it can be used in facilitating bhakti of others. Imagine I create a temple with some money I have. Then that temple facilitates the bhakti of others. But imagine people just come in temple and do politics. Then that temple is not facilitating the devotional service. So Aropa Siddha means I have some products, resource of the material world. Maybe it money, maybe intelligence, basically prana, artha, dhiya, vacha. I have some life force, I have some physical energy, I have some wealth, I have some intelligence, I have some vak sakti, speaking power. So I use it in inspiring others or doing something for Krishna, and I use my wealth in service of Krishna. This is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. But highest form of bhakti is what Dhruva Maharaj is asking here to Kuber, that if you want to give any benediction, give benediction of the highest form, that is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. And that is what is Harau Sababre Chalitam Smritim Yaya. Harau Saha, Dhruva Maharaj, Babre, he asked, Achalitam Smriti. Our Smriti is always Chalitam. Chalitam matlab flickering. Idhar thoda sa, udhar thoda sa, idhar thoda sa. Even while attending the class also, our Smriti has gone so many different places. Correct? Huh? Anyone can give an example where someone's Smriti has gone apart from the classes? Honestly. No,
Today's evening program.
Today's evening program. Which evening program?
I was just thinking that all devotees have reached Kolkata. I was seeing Anshuman Prabhu and then Saran Prabhu and
So you are thinking about Anshuman Prabhu's program. Actually, they have to think because they have to give class. Now you have no connection with the girls' program, but still you are thinking. Just see how the Chalatam Smritim. But it's good that you are thinking, you are blessing our girls' program. You are able to understand. We are attending classes, but our Smriti is so Chalitam, going here and there, and it is devotional service only. Mataji is not thinking something, some Bollywood actor, what movies she is doing. She is thinking about the devotional service also, but we see that how our Smriti is very, very Chalitam, means very flickering. It is not present on what is going on right now, right? Yes? And Achalitam means to have unflickering, unflinching bhakti to Krishna. That is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. When I am chanting, I am completely chanting and remembering Krishna. When I am doing any kirtan, I am remembering Krishna. When I am doing any worship to Krishna, I am remembering Krishna. So we have the 9 devotional forms, devotional activities, Navavidha Bhakti, starting from Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, Bandhanam. But all these devotional activities we do, but our Smriti is somewhere else. And Dhruva Maharaj is telling that if you Kuber, you want to give me any benediction, give me a benediction that Achalitam Smriti comes for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is will help us. Tarati matlab tarna, no? Swimming. Ayatnena, very easily. Duratyayam, which is very difficult, though it is very difficult to cross over the material world, but ayatnena, it will become very easy. When it will become very easy? When achalitam mati, when I will have remembrance of Krishna achalitam. Yeah. So this is what is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, the highest level of bhakti, to actually please the Lord. We can do so many forms of devotional service, and generally we think that if I could have different more resources, I could do some service of the Lord. Krishna is not in the need of our resources. Krishna is not in the need of some wealth. Krishna is Lakshmipati. Why he needs our wealth? We are giving our wealth to Krishna so that our wealth gets purified. Like one person was there in IIT when he went to 4th year and all. So he came to me and said, Ki Prabhuji, I have a lot of doubts regarding ISKCON and everything. I said, what? Now ISKCON takes so much of money, right? So I said, ISKCON is not in need of your money. You don't have to give your money. You have got your job, you keep your money with yourself. ISKCON, it doesn't need money. Nah, arey, all the whatever activities are happening is by the donations of devotees. Imagine all the people stop giving donations, what will happen? I said, it will go on. Now, kya Prabhuji, what you are telling? I said, Prabhuji, you see how much donation people are giving for the Vaikuntha world to run. How much donations you gave or anyone gave, which Ambani, which Piramal and which people are giving for building a gold palace in Vaikuntha. The staircases in Vaikunthas are made of gold. What to speak of the windows and all those things. If the staircase is made of gold, where you walk down, how much donation you gave to build one castle in Vaikuntha? So, and there are unlimited Vaikunthas like this. And there are unlimited Lakshmis like this. So we think, we have a notion that our donations, our Lakshmi can actually give service to Krishna. And if I get more donations or more Lakshmi if I earn, then I'll give more donations and then I will do service. Giving donation is not a service to Krishna. Giving donation is a purification of our wealth. If we do not give donations and charity of wealth, then Bhagavatam says that the Grihastha becomes like a mulberry cocoon. You know mulberry cocoon? How many of you know mulberry cocoon? Silkworm, Resham. Now the silkworm, from his mouth, it creates the silk, which is silk, very, very nice. And it comes out from the mouth, and it comes out from the mouth, comes out from the mouth, comes out from the mouth, and then it completely covers the silkworm and the silkworm dies. So exactly in the same way, materialistic wealth or the wealth of the world is like that. It comes out from our endeavors, right? Yes, you start working, you get money. And those money, if it is not given in charity to Krishna, it becomes like a cocoon. It becomes like a mulberry cocoon for the devotee. So, a devotee should understand that Krishna's temples or whatever is not running because I am giving donations. This is the very, very wrong attitude towards giving donations or charity. The devotee should think, if that would have been the case, Dhruva Maharaj should have asked more money, na? Then I can get more money and I can give more donations and I can do so much of service. That's not the case. Krishna is not in need of our donations. It is we who get purified by giving wealth, by giving the charity of wealth to Krishna. And it's not that we should aspire, if I get a lot of wealth, then I can do a lot of service. No, whatever wealth you have, you give some part to Krishna and continue devotional service. Krishna is not in need of wealth, nor you have to aspire that if I get a lot of wealth, I can do better devotional service. There are so many devotees who have fallen into this trap of accumulating wealth, thinking that they will improve their devotional service, give donation to ISKCON, and they have stopped their devotional service itself. Forget about giving donation to ISKCON. Because wealth, especially materialistic wealth, is extremely intoxicating. Extremely intoxicating. Once it comes, if you don't have wealth, it's very easy to tell, I will do devotional service with that wealth. Once you get that wealth, it's very difficult to give that wealth to Krishna. And sometimes we think that that wealth is enabling Krishna's service to go on. We should think that that wealth is purifying me. It is liberating me from this silkworm, this cocoon, where I can get trapped in this Grihastha ashram. And that's why a very, very important aspect of the Grihastha ashram is donation. But Dhruva Maharaj is a Grihastha. He was married by that time. But he is not asking money. Whatever money I have, I'll use it in devotional service, I'll give donation. But Kuber, don't give me more money. Already जो है मैं सेवा में लगा दूंगा. मेरे को पैसा नहीं चाहिए और सेवा में लगाने के लिए. मेरे को भक्ति चाहिए. अगर भक्ति रहेगा तो whatever resources I have, whatever money I have, I'll anyway use it in devotional service. And if I do not have bhakti, even if I am the richest person and you make me the richest person in this world, I will not use it in devotional service. I'll use it for my sense gratification. So that is how we must understand that this world is not our place. The purpose of this world is not to stay in this world. And the purpose is to go back to Godhead. As Dhruva Maharaj is telling, Tarati ayatnena duratyayam tamaha. To actually deliver ourselves, and that is what is the Chaturtha Purushartha, that is liberation. But higher than the Chaturtha Purushartha, there is Dharma, there is Artha, there is Kama, and there is Moksha, and then there is Prema, Panchama Purushartha. So we will discuss now for the next 10 minutes. Then we'll take question and answers about this 5 Purusharthas. First is Dharma. You do religious work, and basically this Dharma, what is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, this Dharma is about the Varnashram Dharma. You do your Dharma of your Varna. If you are a Brahmana, you do some Brahminical work, you do some teaching work. By that you earn some money and all. Dharma will give you Artha. Artha means money. Artha also means some any resource. Artha means money, Artha means some human resource, Artha means financial resource, Artha means some capital land asset. Everything includes Artha. So Dharma will give you Artha, and with Artha you can enjoy in this world. Kama. But when you enjoy this world, you realize that there is no enjoyment in this world. It's so frustrating. I did 100 units of Dharma to get 100 units of Artha, and with that 100 units, I should have got 100 units minimum of enjoyment, but I am getting 0.001% of enjoyment. There is no comparison. The endeavor required to take wealth and the enjoyment that is available from that wealth is very minimal. And that is how a person realizes that I did so much to enjoy, but I am not feeling any enjoyment, I am not feeling any satisfaction. Then moksha comes. This world में कोई satisfaction नहीं है, कोई आनंद नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, बकवास है ये दुनिया. But that is not the goal of life. To think, to be detached from this world. ये सब बकवास है, ये सब बकवास. The goal of life is जो क्या सही है. अगर इस दुनिया में सब कुछ बकवास है, if everything is useless in this world and it cannot satisfy me, then what can satisfy me? only pure devotional service to the Lord, only by loving Krishna, and that is Panchama Purushartha. That is Prema Pumartho Mahan, loving Krishna. So once this purpose of our life is clear, it doesn't matter whether we are a man or a woman or a grihastha or a brahmachari or a sannyasi or whatever varnas and whatever ashramas we may have, our devotional service will be very nice. Because if the purpose is clear, then we will give priorities to our devotional service. Right now, our priorities, so many priorities are there. And because our purpose is not clear, we think, oh, imagine, if I spend 1 hour more in, why I will hear Bhagavatam class? If I spend 1 hour, I can write some codes, I can do something and get some money. Again, now you are almost 1 hour, you are hearing Bhagavatam class. 1 hour, all of you are educated person. Yes, Udharan Krishna Prabhu, what is your 1 hour value? Let's say your 1 hour corporate value. Is not able to understand. Huh? Don't know? Minimum. What do you think if 1 hour corporate company, you join a company and they tell you that 1 hour minimum, they should pay 1 hour like this?
$300.
Huh?
$300 per hour.
Huh? Per hour.
$300.
Yeah, Ajay Prabhu is telling minimum $300. What is $300? 300 into 80, almost 24,000. 24,000 rupees. 24,000 rupees. Okay. $300 per hour. So now almost 1.5, 2 hours is going on Sundays in the morning in the Bhagavatam class. $48,600. Can you imagine? So we can use it in some productive thing. खाली बैठ के सुनने से क्या होगा? Some people come to ISKCON and say, कि you spend a big pandal. If you go to Mayapur, we had Shravan Utshav. And what is meaning of Shravan Utshav? We had a big pandal and big stage, and in that we had put big sound system, and in that sound system some Maharajas will come and give katha. And to make that pandal only, it is costing lakhs of rupees. And people can say, इतना लाख ISKCON पैसा खर्चा करता है पंडाल में, क्या कर रहे हैं आप? बस सुनने के लिए? हाँ, उससे क्या फायदा हो रहा है? Janmashtami, we spend so much of money making pandal and everything so that people can take prasadam, people can chant Hare Krishna, hear Kirtan. What we are doing? We are wasting so much of money. But when the purpose of life is clear, then we will see that they are wasting money. We are actually utilizing the money in proper way. Because the purpose of money is to help us achieve life's main purpose. Money has no purpose. Now currently modern society का क्या हो गया है? The purpose of life is to earn money. And वो पैसा कमाता है, बस देखता है बैंक बैलेंस में पैसा बढ़ रहा है, money is increasing. Then if one bank account has lot of money, then he will create more bank accounts, 10 bank accounts, and in all 10 bank accounts, it's there in that. Nowadays, there are systems where you have all the 10 bank accounts in one, they have created, and all those aggregator, financial aggregator. You see, I know everything. Right? Though I do not have a bank account. So they have financial aggregator. In that they can see all the bank accounts together, all the credit cards together in one bird's eye view. Oh, money is increasing. Their money is there. I have invested there. I'll invest there. And there 20 lakh is becoming 40 lakhs. Here that 20 lakhs is becoming just 10 lakhs. I'll invest there. So goal of life has gone to make money. But money is not the purpose of life. Money is a means to achieve purpose of life. Even even in the Chaturvargas, you see the explanation of the Chaturvargas which Srila Prabhupada is telling about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Artha is not the goal of life. Enjoyment is goal of the life. We will read one purport and then we will continue our discussion. I forgot. Just 1 minute. Give me a minute. I'll just find out what is the verse. This verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, and in the 23rd, not 23rd, the Uddhav Sambad, chapter 9, Avadut Brahmana. I wrote that verse number. It says about Madhuha. I'll just find out the verse number. Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah. So the verse number is 11:8:15. 11. This is what? 11:10. Okay. Sorry, 11:8:15. Yeah. Okay. So, so you can now show the verse. Okay. So I'll tell you the context. So there is a king called Yadu, and this Yadu king, he went to a forest and he saw a Brahmana who is a Avadut. He's just sleeping and he's very enlightened. So this Yadu king asked this Brahmana that how you're so enlightened in the forest? Who is giving you training? And you look very, very effulgent. You look very educated. There are no schools in this forest. How without going to school or without getting training, you are so educated? So this Brahmana says, I have in this forest only 24 gurus. One time we will discuss on all the 24 gurus. So we have 24 gurus, and these 24 gurus are every day teaching me. Then Yadu asked, who are the 24 gurus? One of the guru is the honeybee. So we will discuss about honeybee. We will read the purport. Okay, so this is the verse 11:8:15. Na deyam nopabhogyam cha. Anyone? Lubdheryad dukkha sanchitam. Bhungte tadapi tachanyo. Madhu hevarthavim madhu. Na deyam nopabhogyam cha. Lubdheryad dukkha sanchitam. Bhungte tadapi tachanyo. Madhu hevarthavim madhu. Translation. A greedy person accumulates a large quantity of money with great struggle and pain, but the person who has struggled so much to acquire this wealth is not always allowed to enjoy it himself or give it in charity to others. The greedy man is like the honeybee, like the bee who struggles to produce a large quantity of honey, which is then stolen by a man who will enjoy it personally or sell it to others. No matter how carefully one hides his hard-earned wealth or tries to protect it, there are those who are expert in detecting the whereabouts of valuable things and they will steal it. So, this person says that the bees, we'll read just one part of the purport. The bees, from here, the bees work frantically to produce honey, but they will never be able to enjoy their honey. As Lord Krishna states, Mrityu sarva haras chaham, I will come as death personified and steal everything. Somehow or other, one's hard-earned material opulence will be stolen, and therefore, as mentioned in this verse, one should not work uselessly like the foolish honeybee. So there is Madhu and there is Madhuha. Madhu is the person who makes the honey, and like that, the goal of Artha is not Artha collection, it's not accumulation. So honeybee, the goal of the honeybee is, I will accumulate the honey. And what is his pleasure? Is that beehive. Oh, wow. Sundar dikh raha hai na? Wow, bahut acha dikh raha hai. And never ever the honeybee will taste the honey. It will just look, bahut acha hai. And there is a, the honeybee also has a, you can close this. And the honeybee has a future prospect also. My son will enjoy this beehive. I am creating this beehive for my son. And then the wife is thinking, yeah. Patidev, you are doing great for our children, for our future legacy. You are creating this empire of this honey hive, beehive. And then this Avadut Brahmana is telling, one day, one man will come with some firewood. He will light the fire. He will create the, what do you say, that smoke. And then all the honeybees will go away. And he will take all the honey and he will come to our Gosala and sell it in 300 rupees per kilo. Every month the Gosala, that one person comes. I'll show you that person. And from that person I remembered this verse. Recently, this week only I saw. You remember Vishwa? Huh? I saw that and I remembered this verse and I thought since Sunday I will tell. And he said, I asked him how much? 300 rupees per kilo. And he did nothing. What he did for selling it 300 rupees per kilo? Nothing. The bees are collecting. He went, he took some firewood, जो उधर ही से मिल जाता है. That wood, firewood, fire लगाने के लिए उधर ही से मिल जाता है. 1 रुपए का मैच बॉक्स आता है, लगा दिया, आग भगा दिया, लेके आके 300 रुपए में बेच दिया. So in this way we need to understand money is not the purpose of life. Accumulation of money is not the purpose of life, but the problem is money is so intoxicating. It is so intoxicating, and the accumulation of money, that endeavor to accumulate money is so intoxicating that needlessly one will become like a honeybee. इधर इन्वेस्टमेंट, उधर इन्वेस्टमेंट, इधर लैंड खरीद लेता हूँ, उधर कर लेता हूँ, इधर कर लेता हूँ, this and so many. Sometimes people forget what all properties they have. Oh, अरे प्रभु जी, yes. I said कि I have another flat also that place, I have another flat also that place, and no one is going to stay. Yesterday our Prabhuji was telling, Kushal Bihari was telling about one person who initially threw away his father. He took away all the property of his father. He threw away his father. And in his bungalow, he and his wife were staying, and there were 17 washrooms. And he liked one of the washroom of the 17 washrooms. And the wife also liked the same washroom. And he didn't wanted that wife uses the same washroom. He wanted that wife uses the remaining 16 washroom and I use only exclusively this washroom. And just because the wife was wanting that 17th washroom and he wanted that wife uses all other 16 washroom and not the 17th washroom, he threw away his wife. Can you imagine? This is just on washroom to pass stool. And it's not that wife is going and passing stool and he is going and passing something else, and his stool is some divine aromatic fragrance that is giving. Everyone's stool is like that only. Even the biggest businessman and the most beautiful actress, and everyone's stool is whatever you know, whatever, all of your stool, their stool, everything same. But this is the danger in just accumulating money like the honeybee. Money is never the purpose, but money is so intoxicating that it will force you that the purpose of life is money, and there is no end. There is no end. Oh, Syed, if I get more, little more, then my future will be better, my future will be better, my future will be better. Money does not decide future. No matter how much ever money you may have, anyway death will come and take away all your money. So the purpose of money is not money, but money is so intoxicating that it will force you to accumulate it and make it as the purpose of your life. And that's why we have to be very careful in accumulating resources of this world. Dhruva Maharaj, that's why he was very careful, because Dhruva Maharaj knew that now if I tell Kuber to give money, and with one amount of money, then all these desires will come of accumulating more money. I have enough for my sustenance. I have enough for my whatever I want to give some charity and do something in this world. I don't want money. So as devotees, we need to understand that the purpose of life is going back to Godhead, is achieving or awakening our love for Krishna, and money is just a means to achieve that purpose. Sometimes people accumulate even for their 7 generations. 7 generations they accumulate. And they don't even know who are going to come. We don't even know who are going to come, our grandchildren, we don't even know. Sometimes we may die before our children get married only. But people have this accumulating tendencies. And as devotees, if we want to go back to Godhead, we have to stop this empire business, creating an empire within this material world. Now it may look like, Are Prabhuji, you are the sannyasi, we are just grihasthas, we need some money. Yes, as grihasthas, we need money to serve life's purpose. But money should not become life's purpose. If money becomes life's purpose, if accumulation of money becomes life's purpose, we need one home to stay, we need some savings, and we need some regular income. That's it. I should have my one home, I should have one home there as an investment, that home there, and this, that's so many. And with so many things, if we create so much of complications, right? And thinking that our children will live in that home. Children will go to America, stay there, you will never come back to India, and that home will remain like that only. Some tenant will use that home and enjoy that home. And you have worked so hard to create that home to be enjoyed by a tenant who will give you some 10, 20, 15,000 rupees to enjoy your hard-earned home. This is what happens for everyone. Hare Krishna. Selja Mataji, बाहर नहीं, इधर ही आप अंदर रहिए और म्यूट कीजिए. Yeah. So we need to understand that we have to first calculate what I require and how much savings or whatever we require, and we must keep a boundary. Okay, this is what I require, and I should not, because this money is extremely intoxicating. As Avadut Brahmana is telling, it can make us like honeybee. And especially Grihastha, forget about Grihasthas. Anyone, I have seen brahmacharis. Oh, if I get a little more money, then I can make a more beautiful temple, more this, more that. No, if I have money, then I can beautify the temple. But not that as sannyasis I am just roaming, temple banana hai, temple banana hai, temple banana hai, temple banana hai. This is not the purpose of life. As sannyasi, I should roam, bhakt banana hai, bhakt banana hai, bhakt banana hai, harinam karwana hai. And if there are some money, okay, you build a temple. If there are no money, sit under a tree. So we need to understand, even sannyasis, even brahmacharis can also fall prey to this accumulation of money. If we do not understand, like some devotees are saying, Prabhu, why we are spending so much of money in prasadam, in this, that? Why? Like one devotee asked, one devotee from ISKCON Delhi, one devotee is there, Mohan Rup Prabhu. So he asked Mohan Rup Prabhu that why you are selling Bhagavad Gita, printing Bhagavad Gitas, giving prasadam. So Prabhuji was telling, what do you think? What else we'll do? We will sell cars. Mungpali. He's selling Mungpali, groundnuts. So we should understand, we have money, we should utilize it in Krishna's purpose, in distributing prasadam. We should distribute Bhagavad Gita. If I have some extra money, I distribute Bhagavad Gita, I distribute prasadam. But not that I collect that money so that I can distribute. If I have money, I distribute. If I don't have money, chant Hare Krishna, inspire others to chant Hare Krishna. So the purpose of money is not money. The purpose of money is to be utilized in Krishna's service and to achieve life's main purpose is to go back to Godhead, is to awaken love for Krishna. But if money has no purpose, or money has not a pure purpose, it can become like a honeybee, or it can become like a cocoon, which completely entangles us. And that's why we have to be very, very careful as individuals, whether brahmacharis, sannyasis or grihasthas, we have to be very careful with money, very careful with money. And if we are not careful with money, if we are not analyzing our money, we must analyze our money, not so that we can accumulate more and more. We should analyze our money. Okay, how much I really require. We should have an unbiased, objective study of our finances. Oh, this is what I require. And beyond that, I don't require, so I should not keep it, nor I should accumulate or think of accumulating more and more. So if we have this principle that, okay, this much is enough. Now the problem is, like the honeybees keeps on thinking, oh, maybe when the beehive becomes this big size, I will start taking honey and just peacefully live now. And then the beehive becomes like this, beehive becomes like this, and like this, and like this, and then there is no end. There is no end for accumulation in this material world. I am telling each one of you, even if you become Brahma, the entire universe, you become the proprietor, still there is the Brahma would be thinking, oh, I am just a 4-headed Brahma. If I can become a 8-headed Brahma and I have a bigger universe, then it will be so nice. So there is no end for accumulation of material resources. And why a person is greedy and accumulating? Because he is not satisfied. Because you are not satisfied with 100 rupees, you are thinking, oh, maybe 1000 rupees will satisfy me. And then you get 1000 rupees, you think that maybe 10,000 will satisfy me. But no amount of money can satisfy. No amount of money accumulation can satisfy us. Money is necessary to serve life's purpose. Money is never the purpose of life. So if one is clear with it, then one can live peacefully, whether as a brahmachari or a grihastha, and practice devotional service. Otherwise, I have seen in the name of, doing some devotional service, we forget pure devotional service. In the name of doing some devotional service, creating some temples or doing some donations and all, many brahmacharis have forgotten pure devotional service. I have hundreds of examples in my mind which is coming. So many people have forgotten pure devotional service. And it starts like this, but the money is so intoxicating, then you forget completely Krishna. And your goal of life is only accumulating money only and doing some structures for Krishna, creating some structures for Krishna, where there is how much devotional service is going on, no one knows, and only fights are happening. So that's how we have to be very, very careful and analyze, okay, for my sustenance I may require this much, and for my children I may keep this much, little bit, whatever, and lest all things they should earn. Sometimes as parents we think that I will accumulate so much that my children doesn't have to earn. It is poison for your children, you have to understand. We have to earn so much that the children can stand on their own legs. That's it. But if you have too much and the child thinks that पापा तो खट के इतना कर दिए मेरे को काम करना ही नहीं पड़ेगा, वो इतना बदमाश बन जाएगा, इतना बदमाश बन जाएगा. Like my father used to never tell what all funds he has, and the reason he used to not tell what all funds he has, because I will start calculating, and if I start calculating I'll not focus on my endeavors and everything, and then I will think, okay, anyway, and then the child or children becomes completely irresponsible. And that is how we should understand that purpose of life should be clear. Money is not the purpose of life. Money is just to achieve the purpose of life. And we should have an objective study of all our finances. How much I require. And there is no end to accumulation. We can become like a honeybee or a milk silkworm. Hare Krishna. I think that's what's enough for why Dhruva Maharaj didn't ask Kuber for money, which can be anyway used in devotional service, because Dhruva Maharaj understood that money is very, very intoxicating, very, very intoxicating. And better than that, I already have everything. Let me ask for pure devotional service. That is actually life's purpose. Hare Krishna. Is there any question? Okay. There is Ansuman Prabhu. You are reading here? Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhu, last point, that liberation. So, I mean, can you please explain that how that liberation is called actually the topmost materialistic achievement? Because that actually,
yeah.
Why it is the topmost?
Yeah. So liberation is called materialistic achievement because ultimately you are getting liberated from the material world, and you are going to spiritual world with a notion that I can enjoy the spiritual world. Here in material world, whatever I am doing is giving me so much of pain, but in spiritual world I can enjoy without getting pain. And that is how it is called the topmost materialistic achievement only, because it's materialistic only. You are not going to spiritual world. The person who are mukti kamis, who are wanting mukti in their life, they don't think about loving Krishna, serving Krishna. Their goal is, if I am accumulating money here or in doing anything here, there is so much of pain involved. The relationships are also painful in this world. The relationships are temporary. If I go to a permanent place, I can enjoy very nicely. So because it is self-enjoyment, this principle of liberation is also principle of self-enjoyment. मैं enjoy करूँगा, material world में enjoyment अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, spiritual world में अच्छा होगा, and that is why it's called the topmost, because the topmost thing you can think, na, without any misery you can enjoy. Correct? What is meaning of material enjoyment? You can enjoy. And what is the meaning of higher level material enjoyment? You can enjoy with less miseries. Right? Like you can have a fan. It is material enjoyment. In the sense, talking philosophically. Okay, all of you can have fans in your homes. But fan is one type of material enjoyment. It gives you some amount of air. But then you can have an AC. It is a higher material enjoyment because it reduces the misery more. Correct? So exactly in the same way, if you go to spiritual world, there is no requirement of fan, no requirement of AC. because the outside world is Chira Basanta. Chira Basant means always spring. Then it is highest material enjoyment. So an aspiration to be liberated, to enjoy better facilities of the spiritual world is called, is what is being spoken here. You are understanding? But we are aspiring to go to spiritual world, not to enjoy the facilities of Vrindavan, but to get better opportunities of service in Vrindavan. Here our service is so much diverted, distracted in so many ways. But in Vrindavan, our mind, our energy, everything can be so focused in service to Krishna. Here, before serving Krishna, so many things I have to think. I have to think of my food, I have to think about number 1 and number 2, and I have to think about a flat, and all arrangement ke baad, then I do some service. But their arrangements are already made. You just have to join the service. You're able to understand how mukti is materialistic and how bhakti is devotion. Devotion is spiritual. But even a bhakta can also aspire for mukti, but a bhakta doesn't aspire for mukti in the same way how others are aspiring for mukti. You're able to understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, that's good, that's good. Yes, so many devotees.
Bhakta wants liberation. Bhakta wants liberation to serve better Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna side.
Yes.
The non-devotee, they want liberation for their self-enjoyment.
So ultimately Bhakta uses everything. Bhakta uses mukti also. There is one verse by Prabodhanand Saraswati says, Mukti Mukulintanjali. Mukti Devi is standing with folded hands at the feet of a devotee and telling, mere ko use karo Bhagwan ke seva mein. Right? So, so Bhakta uses mukti also to serve Krishna. And if mukti doesn't help in serving Krishna, Bhakta doesn't want mukti also. If there is better opportunities of service in Dasosmi family, in material world only, why we will go to Vrindavan? Hai ki nahi? So ultimately we want service to Krishna. Whether we are in material world, whether we are in spiritual world, whether we are in Vrindavan, we want to love Krishna. So that's how the outlook, the attitude of a bhakta is. Suddha bhakta. Yes, I don't know who raised hand. Let's say maybe Sunita Mataji, then Sabyasachi Prabhu, then Mona Lisa Mataji, and then Sukruti Mataji, and Poonam Mataji, and Dev Malya Prabhu. So many. Fast we will do. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Dandavad.
Prabhuji, I have 2 questions, but there are so many questions. So
Yeah.
I can see
One.
First question was, like you said, donations to purify our wealth. So my question is, what if the money has been acquired by wrong means, in the sense like money acquired, like a restaurant is running, they are serving meat and non-veg, and then there is leather business, leather industries is there. So the money acquired, if that money is donated, a part of that money is donated, does that money also get purified?
Yeah. So first of all, accumulating money through wrong purposes will only bring pain to us. So artha is artha when it is dharma. From dharma artha comes. So if artha has come from adharma, then it is not artha, it is anartha only. So the money that has come from leather business or this business or that business, so it's not money, it's anartha, and it's only going to create miseries. So it is not artha. Now, because now materialistic world, society has become so horrible, even if one is not doing a leather business, still our endeavors are somewhere involved in some breaking of 4 regulative principles. But at least we should not directly get involved. But let us say someone is doing some business which is directly involved in giving pain to others. One should try to, first of all, divert one's business instead of thinking of giving donations from the business. That's what we advise many people, that if they have, before coming devotees or all, they have their businesses which involve a lot of giving pain to animals and all. They first think about not giving donations to ISKCON. We first tell them that whatever part you want to give to donation, na, you keep it as a savings for yourself and stop this business or divert this business or do something else. We don't want donations from you, right? Better you stop this business, or you whatever, let's say you want to give 10 lakh donations to ISKCON from your leather business. You keep this 10 lakh as a savings and stop this leather business. And that is better for your life. So we should not think that if I accumulate from different sources which are wrong sources and give to ISKCON, then, or some charitable organization and all my pap or miseries will go away. It is not artha, it is anartha only. Artha means which has been accumulated from dharma, and even if if money is accumulated through dharma, it has to be purified. So wealth has to be accumulated from dharmic sources, and that wealth needs to be also purified. Because accumulation of wealth, no matter how much ever dharmic it is, it requires always some lies. Let us say, forget about leather business. Someone is doing sari business. Let's say Sri Nitai Das has started a sari business, because there are so many Matajis coming, right? So I start a sari business. It will not happen, but hypothetically, because it's a negative example, so I don't want to give any other name. I want to keep my personal name. So let's say Sri Nitai Das gives a sari business. And then Sunita Mataji comes, and Sri Nitai Das, after Bhagavatam class, Sri Nitai Das sits with saris. And then Prabhuji, Mataji, this sari, I'm giving you in cost price, Mataji. Cost price. I got it from Banaras. Selja Mataji had sent me. This is cost price, Mataji. Will any businessman give a sari in cost price? Tell me. And if he is giving in cost price, then how he is maintaining his business? How he is maintaining 2 employees under him? How he is maintaining his showroom? So even a business which involves dharmic things, which doesn't involve giving pain to others, has the lies involved in it. And because certain amount of adharma, some lies and something are involved in any business or any commerce or any salary. One may say, मैं तो job कर रहा हूँ प्रभु जी, मैं तो झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. नहीं, आप किसके लिए job कर रहे हैं? कोई मारवाड़ी, some businessman के लिए job कर रहे हैं ना? वो तो झूठ बोल रहा है. So even if you are an employee under a businessman, you are part of that lie. झूठ, बिना झूठ का business नहीं होता है, पैसा नहीं निकलता है. नहीं, अगर झूठ बोलेंगे तो पैसा निकलेगा. In that way, dharmic sources से अगर पैसा collect होता है, then that can be purified. Adharmic sources, the first principle should be, I should stop the sources, if one is clear. But still we don't know. There are so many people who come and give donations to ISKCON and everything. We don't know who is giving ISKCON, what type of money they are having and all. So that's why we put all the money in the central pool and distribute the money, whatever different sources it can be used. But if we come to know that someone has certain things like this, then we directly tell him that you directly give to Krishna, do some service to Krishna, do some charity to Krishna. And slowly they should shift the business to some other business, right? But it becomes sometimes difficult to shift the business and all those things. But if one is serious about life's purpose of going back to Godhead, sometimes what happens, the lady is serious, the husband who is doing business is not serious. What the bichari lady will do? That also is another problem. Sometimes the husband is doing the business and the wife is not serious in devotional service. Husband wants to shift the business, but the wife has got so attached to the money that is coming from this leather business. The wife doesn't want to leave business. So Grihastha ashram becomes very complicated because sometimes the husband wife have become serious. They want to stop their leather business. Children are telling, Papa, वाह, आपने एंजॉय कर लिया जितना, अभी क्या भक्त बन गया, अभी सब छोड़ छाड़ के आप सब बंद कर रहे हैं, अब हम क्या भूखे मरेंगे? These are all practical case studies that has happened in ISKCON. So it's not very blanket rule. We can say, okay, leather business ho gaya, to band kar diya, ye kar diya, wo kar diya. So there has to be, these questions require very, very specific things. But on a principle wise, we must try to see that we reduce it or make it zero. And if you cannot reduce it, give it to your sons. भाई आप करो, हम तो हरि नाम करेंगे, हमको कुछ पैसा दे दीजिए, हम वानप्रस्थ ले लेंगे जल्दी से, VRS ले लेंगे. So in that way, one has to be very, very careful. But because we are living in a family, and if it is a family business, there are so many stakeholders in the family involved, the wife, the children, the husband. So it becomes very difficult to divert the business. So in that way, give some charity to Krishna and try to see that how much ever fast you are able to retire. So that's the thing we say if they are not able to close it. Because so many people have tried closing it, then they could not close it. That also examples are there in ISKCON. And we tell them, okay, okay, you continue giving some charity to ISKCON. You don't get involved directly, let your sons now manage it. Okay? It's very complicated, very complicated.
But well explained, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Who said? Mona Lisa Mataji, then Sabyasachi Prabhu, then
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Dhanabad.
Prabhuji, you said about Sarvakshita Bhakti, jahan pe unflinching remembrance of the Lord. And uske niche hai Arop Siddha Bhakti, jahan pe we use the resources Pran, Artha, Bhag and Buddhi in the service of the Lord. Uske pehle you were talking about the fasting, that just by fasting it's not the devotional service, we do the service in that same time. So what is the name of that, Prabhuji?
Sangha Siddha. Sangha Siddha. Sangha.
Yep.
Okay? Yes?
Okay.
Hari Bol. Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu. Sangha Siddha.
Sangha Siddha Bhakti from Bhakti Sandarbha talk about the Ekadasi. If in Ekadasi the spirit is missing, it means a ritual, if I understand correctly. So if ritual, can we take it like this for a neophyte devotee? The ritual is more important or being spiritual, because the person may not understand the fasting of the body and feasting of the soul principles in Ekadasi. So we'll continue to encourage neophyte devotees to being ritual first, then spiritual later. Will that be okay?
Yeah, correct. So for a beginner, there are different levels of what we tell them in to perform Ekadasi. If you see the Padma Puran, which describes about Ekadasi, so Padma Puran says that why you should follow Ekadasi. Padma Puran says that if you follow Ekadasi, all your sins will go away. And it gives different sins that one can acquire in life. Someone has visited a prostitute and got so much of sin. Someone has killed animals, got some sins. Someone has disrespected his spiritual master and got some sins. But by following Ekadasi, all the sins will go away and you will be elevated to heavenly planet. What a lucrative offer to follow Ekadasi. Right? If you read Padma Puran, all these descriptions of Ekadasi, they come. So, in the beginner level, we just don't tell the rituals, because until unless we tell the spirit, the rituals will become very dry and it will not be elevating. We tell a lower end spirit. So, other Puranas also describe about Ekadasi, but even they also don't just say that just do Ekadasi. It will please Krishna or it will do something. They say a spirit which they can digest. Like if someone is wanting to do fasting, for doctor has advised him to do fasting once in a week. So we tell him, okay, anyway doctor has advised you to do fasting, you do a fasting on Ekadasi. Nah, Prabhuji, I'll do a fasting in Ekadasi. But what will happen if any day is fine, Ekadasi, what is special? Now, Ekadasi, if you do fasting, it will please Krishna. It will give you some material benefits also. And then we give him some references of Padma Puran and everything. So it's not that for a beginner we don't tell him the spirit. For a beginner also we tell him the spirit behind the rituals. But we tell him such a spirit which he can digest. And for someone who is understanding life's purpose and going back to Godhead and awakening love for Krishna, we tell him a spirit which he can digest. right? For the people who are just reading Bhagavad Gita, we tell them some spirit that by following Ekadasi, actually we will not commit sins because all the grains are in the sins, all the sins are in the grains in Ekadasi, and all those things we can give some reference. And by following Ekadasi, you will get lot of riches and all those things. Wow, yes, I want to do Ekadasi. So in that way, we have to tell the spirit, but what spirit we tell depends on the level of the audience. But we should never instruct anyone with the dry rituals. If we just tell about the rituals, okay, this is the ritual, this is the ritual, and then they may not be able to continue with that ritual. We have to tell the spirit, then only they will be able to continue. But if you don't tell the spirit, they will do for 1 day, 2 day, 1 time, 2 time Ekadasi, then we will stop it. But we can only tell the spirit based on what they can digest. If they cannot digest the spirit that Ekadasi is for serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna, you tell them the spirit that Padma Puran says. Okay, you can read those and tell them. So in that way, spirit has to be told.
Yes, so in Padma Puran 8 to 80 it is prescribed. 8 years to 8 years can do.
Yeah, so Padma Puran describes so many things about Ekadasi and so many things which we don't follow in ISKCON also about Ekadasi. Many things Padma Puran says, and we don't follow because in ISKCON we want to specifically focus Ekadasi as a Madhav Tithi Bhakati Janani. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Madhava Tithi Bhakati Janani Jatane Palana Kari. Anyone who does Ekadasi develops love for Krishna. So we want to propagate that spirit. And because we want to propagate that spirit, we don't follow those Padma Puran stuff and all those things. We tell ki haan, ye hoga, wo hoga, but that's not the goal. Because what we propagate, that will actually become a trend. And in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has said we have to propagate the devotional benefits of doing Ekadasi. And then there are so many, like Bidhava होने के बाद ही कर सकते हैं, and all different people say about Ekadasi. मैं कर सकती हूँ क्या? Wives, it is said that husband and wife दोनों मिलके Ekadasi करना चाहिए, otherwise विधवा होने के लिए, like my sister used to tell, अरे Ekadasi कैसे मैं कर सकती हूँ, तो विधवा नहीं हूँ मैं, विधवा होने के बाद Ekadasi करना. All this stuff they will say from the karma kandi stuff, all those things. But those will only give some material benefits. That is not the real purpose of Ekadasi. Yes, clear? Yes. Poonam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol Dandavad.
Prabhuji, like you said that in Jagannath Puri, Jagannath is having very simple food because he's in Virabhav. But also like when Krishna he uplifted Govardhan Parvat, so Yashoda Maya 56 Bhuga items for. So like when we want to make something nice for Krishna, then what should we should not eat it and just give it to me.
Yeah. So in Vrindavan, it's not that Krishna only eats sak and Krishna eats only rice. Krishna eats only simple thing. In Vrindavan, Krishna eats Manohar Laddus also. And in Vrindavan, Krishna eats Ghevar also. And in Vrindavan, Krishna eats also Banta Bhog also. And in Vrindavan, Krishna eats rotis also. And in Vrindavan, Krishna eats special puris also. And in Vrindavan, Krishna eats paneer and chena and ghee and everything fried in ghee also. But we can only do all those things when we reach Vrindavan. But before we have reached Vrindavan, if we try to imitate staying in Vrindavan and living in Vrindavan, then we may get attached to this material world. And that's why we have to take the mood of Vrindavan, but the activities of Vrindavan, we should only keep it when we reach Vrindavan. The mood of the Vrindavan is that I need to do everything for Krishna. But if you think, oh, in Vrindavan, so many, definitely for offering Krishna, it is a different thing. We have to offer opulent food to Krishna. Like we have Raj Bhog that is being offered to Krishna in Nitai Gauranga, and we do so much of ghee and so much, it's very opulent. but we should not aspire that I will take that opulent prasadam. We should be happy with the simple prasadam. But in Vrindavan, when we go, then there is no risk. Here in this material world, there is risk. There is a risk of our consciousness getting diverted, distracted, and that's why we have to be careful. Otherwise, when we go to Vrindavan, it's not that we'll give only sak to Krishna, simple sak. No, here in temple also we offer so much of opulent prasadam. But if we aspire that I will only take so much of opulent prasadam, then we are actually not that elevated to see that opulent prasadam, like that opulent prasadam. And then what happens? We may get affected. And that is how, so long the devotee, all of us are in material world, we have to be careful, because we should understand that material world is a very dangerous place. But when we go to Vrindavan, then there is no danger for our devotional service. So that is how it is called Vaikuntha. Kuntha means danger. Vaikuntha, no danger. All these considerations, what we are talking about, is necessary for our safe stay in material world and safe journey to spiritual world. But as you enter spiritual world, the dynamics are different. Here we are told to do Ekadasi. Where in Vrindavan there is Ekadasi? Is there any Ekadasi in Vrindavan? There's no Ekadasi in Vrindavan. Here it is said that chant 16 rounds. Do you think there is chanting of 16 rounds in Vrindavan? Oh, now everyone will get inspired to go to Vrindavan. There is no chanting of 16 rounds in Vrindavan. Right? It's not that you have to, I have to chant 16 rounds. There is no chanting of 16 rounds in Vrindavan. So all these things, these rules and regulations or whatever we are reading and hearing, this is for the spiritual world. In Vrindavan, the rules are different. The rules are based on only love. If Krishna wants today, I do Ekadasi, we do Ekadasi. If Krishna wants, nahi sab khao, sab khao. So, but that will happen when we enter Vrindavan. So long we are here, we follow these rules, what we are supposed to. We live a very simple life and aspire for going to Vrindavan. Once you enter Vrindavan, if Krishna wants to live simple life, you live simple life. Krishna wants to do whatever. So it's based on different dynamics. Yeah, is this clear?
Probably, but like going to Mayapur and eating, sometimes we eat nice prasadam.
Yeah.
Then what is the take on that, going to Govindas?
Yes, so we must go to Govindas with devotees and discuss Krishna Katha and take pizza. But we should understand that we should not hanker. Only if I go to Govindas, then only it is. That should be an affair also. It's not that we should zero it down completely. But I am telling is that if we think that going to Govindas only and eating that opulent prasad, if we keep on hankering for that, if we are not understanding that I have to control my tongue, and if I have to really control my tongue, then there is a danger. But we should occasionally go to Govindas, and because if you too much control the mind and tongue also, then they will rebel, and then they will tell, ठीक है तुम मेरा Govindas prasad बंद कर दिया, मैं chanting भी नहीं करूँगा, क्यों करना है करो. So then there will be problem. So we have to understand, we have to do just like we do with kids. Okay, ठीक है, half an hour, हाँ, half an hour तुमको गेम खेलना है, फिर पढ़ाई करेगा ना. हाँ मम्मी, हाफ एन आवर तुम देंगे, मैं 2 घंटा पढ़ाई करूंगा, और आधा घंटा देंगे और 2 घंटा पढ़ाई करूंगा. लाइक दैट चाइल्ड सेज, करेक्ट? सो वी हैव टू डील विथ आवर सेंसेस एंड आवर माइंड एग्जैक्टली लाइक आवर चाइल्ड ओनली. ठीक है, थोड़ा गोविंदास प्रसाद खा देंगे, बट चैंटिंग करना, हाँ कल से अच्छे से ना, यस चैंटिंग करो, थोड़ा गोविंदास प्रसाद खाना है. So in that way our mind and senses are not completely pure and behaving like a child trying to enjoy this material world. ये भी चाहिए, जैसे चाइल्ड को ये खिलौना चाहिए, वो खिलौना चाहिए, वो खिलौना चाहिए, मम्मी खिलौना चाहिए, देन ठीक है, उसको बंदूक पकड़ा दो, फिर किताब भी पकड़ा दो. So in that way these things have come, you know. Okay, मेरे को अच्छा खाना चाहिए, पिज्जा चाहिए, तो पिज्जा भी खा लो, थोड़ा भक्ति भी कर लो. So ऐसे करके we have to somehow or other manage our mind and senses. We know our mind and senses more than anyone else. how they can be, managed properly. But we have to see our mind and senses just like a kid. इसको कैसे भी बहला फुसला के भक्ति करवाना है मेरे से. And they will never want to do bhakti. But ठीक है, उसको अच्छा खाना चाहिए तो ठीक है, गोविंदास में जाके खा लो थोड़ा सा, अच्छा लग रहा है थोड़ा सा. And then you start chanting Hare Krishna. But slowly we will see that as you start chanting Hare Krishna, then we will only not aspire for so many different things. I will automatically become simple. You are able to understand? Once the child gets attached to the studies and feels very nice by studying, the child will not say that mama 30 minutes video game, then 2 hours study. Will the child make like that? But so long the child is still thinking, so we have to take care of all those things.
Yeah? For me, it works like a reward system.
It's like a reward system that we do personally, and that's why it cannot be enforced. I cannot say you how much you have to go to Govindas and how much you have to abstain from Govinda. It's a personal reward system we should keep for our mind and senses. But it's a reward system. That is not the goal. Like video game is not the goal for the child. Child has to study, but video game is necessary for making the child study. You are able to understand the example?
Yes, sir.
So exactly in the same way, we have to deal with our mind and senses. So long they are there in material world, they will have these impulses. Okay, the mind and senses will be attracted to different sense objects. So we have to somehow try to regulate it, control it, and engage the mind and senses in devotional service. Okay, and it is very personal. How much I should go to Govindas, how much I should eat, so shall I not go? These questions have no answers. On a personal level, I have kept certain commitments, seeing my mind and senses. So similarly, every one of us have to see our mind and senses of how sometimes a child may be so unruly that usko 1 घंटा ही खेलना है and then फिर 1 घंटा वो पढ़ेगा. ठीक है, एटलीस्ट 1 घंटा करो, एटलीस्ट 1 घंटा पढ़ रहा है. Right? So we have to see it in a very personal level, but we should be very clear that the goal of life is going to Vrindavan where there are no Govindas.
And should we also mark that what is our progress?
Sorry?
Should we also mark like what is our progress from the last year?
Yeah, we should also mark, but it's a very personal thing. It cannot be enforced. What can be enforced is Dharma Shastras can be enforced. You cannot break the 4 regulative principles. But Bhakti Shastras can never be enforced. You have to, Suddha Bhakti Shastras can never be enforced. That's what I was recently discussing with Bhagavad Seva Prabhu on this. We were talking about for almost 2 hours. Dharma Shastras has to be enforced. They are laws. You have to follow 4 regulative principles. There is no question about it. If you like eating meat, you have to give up that eating meat. You have to follow the 4 regulative principles. Not that no, my mind is telling, my senses are telling, eating meat. No, if the child is telling, I'll go to a prostitute, will any parent allow? Now, if the child is telling, playing video game, the parent will allow. So similarly, Dharma Shastra has to be enforced on the mind and senses. But Bhakti Shastras and Suddha Bhakti Shastras has to be inspired. Kar lena re. क्या बोलता है तुम 1 माला क्यों कर रहा है? सब लोग बोल रहे हैं 16 माला करना चाहिए, प्रभुपाद भी बोल रहे हैं 16 माला कर लेना रे भाई. तुमको मेरे को क्या मिलेगा? ना गोविंदास में प्रसाद मिलेगा, इस्कॉन में जाके 16 माला करेगा तो गोविंदास में प्रसाद मिलेगा. कर लेना रे. You're able to understand? So it has to be inspired. Similarly, mind is too much attracted to Govindas ka prasad, one has to be inspired. कि अरे ठीक है 2 दिन सिंपल खा लो, बाकी 4 दिन जाके खाएंगे. So it has to be inspired. It cannot be enforced. So personally, we have to inspire ourselves more and more and to see that we are reaching the highest stage of bhakti. But it cannot be enforced. What can be enforced? Dharma Shastras. No meat eating, no sinful life, no illicit sex, no gambling. Beyond that, no enforcement. It's only inspiration. Inspiration from devotees, personal inspiration, inspiration from Guru. Like that. Okay, did you understand this?
Yes.
So that is how, because it is based on inspiration, it doesn't have a clear-cut rule. कि कितना गोविंदास किसको जाना है, किसको नहीं जाना है. No clear cut rule. You follow how much ever you are able to do. But the goal is we have to stop all the sensory process of this material world and go back to God. Yes. Great. Amazing. Sukriti Mataji ki jai. Please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes. Prabhuji, I have a small doubt. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he killed all the yakshas, so many of them. So is he not getting simple reactions because he's a devotee?
Yeah, so we will discuss in the next class. So Dhruva Maharaj, it is written that he accepted many of the inauspicious reactions in his life to get rid of the inauspicious karma. He accepted many of the enjoyment in his life to get rid of his punya. So a devotee accepts the miseries in his life and he thinks बहुत अच्छा पाप जा रहा है पाप जाएगा तो मैं ऊपर जाऊंगा. And devotees also accept some enjoyment by which comes on its own. Sometimes हमको पता नहीं है, so much of fame comes. On its own fame will come, on its own wealth will come, and devotee understands ये बहुत अच्छा है, पुण्य जा रहा है. So जब enjoyment आता है, material enjoyment comes, a devotee thinks पुण्य जा रहा है. And when inauspicious thing comes, यक्ष को मारा था, पाप जा रहा है. So like that the verse is there ahead. It will come. So it's not that Dhruva Maharaj whatever paap kiya wo nahi. So some token reaction it comes. That's what it is said. It is not exactly said what all inauspicious reactions came, but it is mentioned ahead that Dhruva Maharaj accepted those inauspicious reactions, thinking that my whatever wrong things, whatever had happened, it is going. He accepted the enjoyment, thinking that my right things are also going. Because both pap and punya, we have to completely make it zero before going back to Godhead. Or Krishna has to make it zero. Either we make it zero or Krishna has to make it. So Krishna is thinking, कैसे उसको जीरो करना है, उसको बैलेंस करके लेके आना है. Right? So it's there, the verse is there ahead. Okay, Hari Bol. Yes, Dev Malya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
So Prabhuji, my question is little bit practical question on the basis of this today's class. So you mentioned like we need to earn money, how much it is required. Right? But Prabhuji, I'm not talking about any woman, for the men, okay. To earning money, okay, that is also like there are a lot of desires and all are included of other people's desires.
Yes.
Okay. Like kids, like if somebody is getting already married, like kids, wife and all. Okay. Even in the devotional service also, like the people those who are into Krishna consciousness also, there are desires, okay, beyond basic needs. Yes. I'm not talking about desires which is very big. Now the thing is like, somehow we have to earn money little bit more also, right? Like how much it is required. Because many times like we are earning certain amount of money, okay, we did that financial plan. But in the future, certain things happen like which require much more money. Okay. So at that time, there will be a lot of people, those who can't help us, right? If we ask for the help also. So now how can we articulate all of these things so that there should not be any problem even after earning a certain small amount of money also, how much it is required?
Yeah. So the point is we have the basic problem with this question is that even if we have money, can we articulate that there will be no problem? If let us say I have money beyond a certain limit, can we say that material world will not give any problem? I have seen people who have so much of money and entire money. Like I remember one family that got married and there's so much of money and so much. We used to tell him that practice devotional service. No, Prabhuji, money is required and all those things. And then their child was born, and the child was born with a hole in the heart. And that girl, that daughter who was born in 2 months, he took away all the money he earned in last 10 years and went away. And he was again in zero. So we need to understand that material world, no matter how much ever we articulate and plan, it's a very dangerous place. So that is how we should understand that I should plan in such a way that my basic bhakti and basic devotional service is always going on. And it's not that I will halt my basic devotional service and basic services and earn money. And by keeping the basic devotional service, whatever I can earn. And even if I have enough, it may take one moment to all to be washed away in the material world. And that fear, that danger is there even if one is Ambani's, Piramal's, Tata's, or all of us. So that is how we should not take shelter of money. That's what I am telling. We should take shelter of Krishna. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. We should have money in life, but we should never take shelter of money. We should have money, but we should never think money is the purpose. So taking shelter of money is very, very dangerous. So Krishna is our real protector. Taking shelter of the material resources, the demigods are telling that it is taking shelter of a stone boat, which will anyway sink and make you sink. So no matter, even if we have enough money, we think that, okay, if I have little more, then I'll be more safe. There is no safety in this material world. We need to understand this basic thing. Even if the person who have a lot of money, they're not safe. And so long we don't understand this principle, that we'll not be able to understand what is the limit of earning money. Because, our nature of earning money is to get shelter from money. No. Money will never give us shelter. There is no shelter only in material world. How money can give shelter? But money is for some savings, for some settlement. We require some house to stay. And for our old age, and some savings so that we get some regular income in the old age, and some things for the next generation we keep. That's it. But if you think that if I have money, then only मेरे पास पैसा होता तो मैं जिंदा रह जाता, ये कर लेता, वो कर लेता. Nothing. There are people who had no money and got saved from so much of calamities. And people had so much of money, they died. So many big businessmen, they had so much of money, they could not save themselves. They could not save their, Hari Prasad Prabhu yesterday came and told to me that, Prabhuji, there is one community, one person passed away who is very young, 35, 38, someone. They are very, very wealthy. They are calling you for doing kirtan. I said, I do not have time next week for doing kirtan. I'll find out who can. And who is telling who can do kirtan? Santanu was telling, I think. I said, okay, maybe I'll request Syama Priya Mataji and Bihari going through. They can go and do some kirtan. I don't have time. But then such a wealthy man, and they have so much of very well to do, and there's some very near and dear one who is in 30, 40s, passed away, and they're very disturbed, and they're calling for some kirtan. Who is shelter? Money or kirtan? Tell me. So they're calling a popat person who doesn't have a pocket also to keep money. So Krishna is the shelter. Krishna is the shelter. Even for those people, they're crying and telling, oh, chala gaya, chala gaya, chala gaya, chala gaya, chala gaya. So much of money could not save them. And then they're calling me that Prabhuji do some kirtan. And I'm thinking whether I should go next week. I have to find out who are there, and I have to find out my schedules. My schedules are very busy next week. So in that way, we should understand that money is required, but we should never take shelter of money or any other material relationships or material things in this world, resources, relationships. Krishna is our only shelter. And if Krishna is there with us, what is money? Everything will flow. And if Krishna is not there with us, what is money? Everything will flow away. So Krishna is our real shelter. We should, and कोई अगर unalloyed तरीके से भगवान की सेवा किया, भगवान उस व्यक्ति को कभी हतादार नहीं करेंगे. मैंने खुद देखा है मेरे जीवन में. We didn't had any money. Everything is going on. people are saying, "Are Prabhuji, who is taking care of parents?" I said, "Krishna is taking care." And they said, "Kya Prabhuji, Krishna is taking care." Okay, if you believe that you are taking care, you have to work hard like a honeybee. If you believe Krishna is taking care, you peacefully sit down and chant Hare Krishna. Let Krishna work hard like honeybee. Point is, किसको खटना है? मैं क्यों खटूं? Let Krishna work hard. Yeah.
But Prabhuji, in here, like I have heard a lot of classes and all. Many of the brahmachari devotees, they generally speak one story, okay, regarding a person whose boat got sank, okay, and he's in the middle of the ocean, and continuously so many boat is coming, but he's telling, okay, no, God will help me, I will pray to Krishna, I will pray to God. But at the end of the day, when he died and when he went back, so then he asked to the God, then why you didn't help me? The God is telling, I had already sent you the boat.
Yes.
Okay, so why you didn't help yourself?
Yes.
So that is also coming into this scenario. Right?
Yes, that's true. We should not be foolish enough telling that, oh, Krishna will take care of everything. We are not telling that we are foolish enough, but we are telling that there has to be limit. We should not become like honeybee, and we should not become like irresponsible escapist from the material world. So what is being told is the extreme example of other side is being told. Because anyway people are going to become responsible in material life. People are anyway responsible. But their responsibilities becomes like a honeybee. So we are told that, okay, okay, whatever is responsibility is required, don't make it like accumulation. Then let it go to accumulation. Become balanced. And whatever is required, have an objective and needs understanding of what is required. And we should also understand that there is no end for our requirement. You set this end for requirement, then your mind say, let me increase little bit of more standard of living. And then you set it, little increase more. And then there is no end to it. So that's why we have to set first, this is going to be my standard of living, and this is going to how I am going to live. That's it. No. So that boundary we have to set. So if you set that boundary, how that boundary will be set? By rendering devotional service. If we have an attitude to render devotional service sincerely, we want, oh Krishna, I want more time and do devotional service, then Krishna will give you dadami buddhi yogam tam. Oh, you want to serve me? I will make your material life very simple. But if we don't want to serve Krishna, Krishna will make our material life very complicated. So it's not that we have to don't do anything, just sit down and Krishna will provide everything. It's not that. We have to work in this material world so long we are there. But that work should not be like a honeybee, accumulating. That work should be balanced, and we should understand that I should serve Krishna, and Krishna will give directions. I have seen Krishna does so nicely. He takes care of the devotees, provided the devotee. Like Arjuna was fighting. It's not that Arjuna sat down in the chariot and said, oh Krishna, you fight. No, he fought, but with the power of Krishna. Similarly, we should have a desire not to escape from the material duties, but not escaping on material duties doesn't mean that accumulating so much like a honeybee. So it should be balanced. Is this clear? So generally there is a tendency to go to that side. Accumulate. So we should clearly write down, okay, एक घर चाहिए रहने का, कुछ savings चाहिए emergency के लिए, medical emergency, mediclaim चाहिए, pension चाहिए, because nowadays pension is not being given. Bas, finished. What more is required? So in this way, we should, if we keep this fixed, this is the basic need: roti, kapda, makan, and a particular standard of living. बस उसके लिए, and old age के लिए some savings. But even if I'll tell you, if we keep too much also for the old age, कि इतना पैसा रहेगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा, सब पैसा चला भी जा सकता है, and cure भी नहीं हो सकते हैं आप. So that has to be also restricted. Okay, if I get some disease, बहुत अगर पैसा खर्चा हो रहा है, and उसके बाद so many people have been kept in ventilators for 30 days. And per day spending 30,000 rupees, and 30 days वो ventilator में रह के केवल दूसरों को बैंकरप्ट करके जा रहा है वो व्यक्ति. Is this which logic is this? Tell me. So this medical business, all this business have become so ruthless. The doctors will never tell, अरे ये मर जाएगा, and ventilator में डाल दो, जिंदा करके ले आएंगे. This is not the proper thing. So one has to understand that no matter how much ever we have money, we cannot extend life beyond what Krishna has given us, beyond what destiny has given us. And even if we, and that doesn't mean that we don't keep any money for savings. We keep money for savings, but we don't take shelter of our savings. That's been being spoken. You're able to understand? Shelter is Krishna and Srimati Radharani and their lotus feet. Money is just a madhyam, as you gave that example that brahmacharis tell, that boat is not shelter. Boat is God only. But to see the boat as hand of God is what we are being telling. So boat is not the shelter. Krishna is the shelter. But Krishna will come in the form of boat. Krishna will come in the form of money. Krishna will come also in the form of detachment. We need to detach also, right? Whenever is required. Nowadays people don't retire only. They have no planning for retirement. They have no planning for Banaprastha ashram. Grihastha ashram means, the first principle of Grihastha ashram means to enter with a planning to come out. Who is getting married like that? People don't know. At the age 50, 55, 60 हो गया, children are settled, still they are thinking नया business चालू करे क्या? अरे ये समय है नया business चालू करने का. So Grihastha ashram means, the definition of Grihastha ashram means you enter with a planning when to exit, how to exit. Then there is no problem. हो गया, बच्चे को कुछ दे दिया, सेटल कर दिया, बस अभी निकलना है, बस हरे कृष्णा, प्रभु जी बताइए क्या सेवा है, और कुछ नहीं, राधे राधे. थोड़ा पैसा भी रख दिया हो, पेंशन आता रहेगा, घूमता रहेगा. मैं अभी घूमना चाहता हूँ आपके साथ, चलो हम आपको भी घुमाएंगे, प्रचार करवाएंगे. So that is, and why there is so much of problem? Why we brahmacharis have to deal with grihasthas? Because there are no banaprasthis. Because there are no banaprasthis to take care of the grihasthas, we brahmacharis have to deal with the divorce cases, this cases, that cases. ये काम है हमारा. किसी का डिवोर्स हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, उसको बचाना, किसको मैरिटल काउंसलिंग करना, मैरिज के ऊपर किताब लिखना, ये मेरा काम है. It's not the work of sannyasis, understand. But because there are no banaprasthas, we have to do it. This is apad dharma. This is apad dharma. अब कोई है ही नहीं तो क्या करें? But we want that all of you become good grihasthas, and you should have a plan of becoming very powerful banaprasthas. And then the world will change. When right banaprasthas will come, then the sannyasis don't have to get involved into the grihastha's life, marital counseling and all these things. This is the job of banaprasthas. But banaprastha ashram is non-existent. At least brahmacharya ashram thoda sa exist karta hai, and grihastha ashram exist karta hai. वानप्रस्थ आश्रम तो नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट है. एक बार गृहस्थ में बन गया, यद गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते, वो पूरा मरते दम तक वो गृहस्थ ही रहेगा. माय फादर सेज, हम तो गृहस्थ हैं. मैं बोला कब तक आप गृहस्थ रहेंगे? 75 कोई गृहस्थ होता है क्या? हम तो गृहस्थ हैं. गृहस्थ लोगों को तो ऐसे रहना चाहिए. क्या मतलब, नो कॉन्सेप्ट. दे आर यूजिंग गृहस्थ आश्रम विच इज मेंशन इन स्क्रिप्चर, जो 50 में बंद होना चाहिए था, 25 साल एक्स्ट्रा पार हो गया, अभी भी वो 50 साल गृहस्थ आश्रम है. आफ्टर 50 देयर इज नो गृहस्थ आश्रम. वानप्रस्थ मतलब देखो 50, 50 के बाद क्या होता है? 51 मतलब बन जाइए. श्री निताई दास के पास जाइए, भक्ति में करिए, सब छोड़िए. 52, 53, 54, 55, हर बर्थडे में आपको याद दिलवाने के लिए आप बन जा रहे हैं कि नहीं, रिटायर कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, घर छोड़ रहे हैं कि नहीं. And husband and wife, they can do so much in Banaprastha ashram. They can actually become such good grihastha counselors. They can do counseling to the grihasthas. They can take care of them, and no divorce will happen. If Banaprastha ashram comes, then grihastha ashram will get settled down. Why Grihastha ashram is tottering now, divorce, ye, wo? Because Banaprasthas are not there. Good Banaprasthas come, there will be no divorce. There will be no divorce. शादी भी सही होगा and अच्छा होगा, सब कुछ stable हो जाएगा. You are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
So like that. So then if one is coming, entering with a mood to exit, then he will think, okay, ठीक है प्रभु जी, एक घर बनाता हूँ रहने के लिए बुढ़ापे में, बस हो गया. He will not think 5, 6, 7, 8 जगह investment. He will not do that, because his plan is entering to exit and become Banaprasthi so that I can serve more to the society. Is it clear? Hare Krishna. Hopefully you will enter Grihastha ashram. Let's you enter first, then after 25 years we will discuss on this. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, Sweta Mataji, last question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dharma Pranam. With my very petty understanding, I am saying just it used to my dimag mein chal raha hai, Prabhu. The sloka you mentioned, Durattaya Tamaha. This is mentioned. It is really Durattaya.
Yes.
And the thing Dhruva asked is Acharitamati. How to do it, Prabhu? With this Durattaya Tamaha.
Yeah, so that's why we have to stay under the discipline of Guru. So achalitam mati. Mati is very chalitam, and that's why we have to be disciplined. And when we remain in the radar on the discipline of the Guru, then our mati, which is chalitam, will become achalitam. So that is a simple. If we are not able to control our mati, then we remain within the control of someone else, who is the Guru, Sashan. So we become a Sisya. So we become a Sisya and take the Sashan of the Guru, and Guru says, Abhi nahi, itna hi karna hai, yehi karna hai. Yes, yes, yes. Chalitam mati, you become achalitam mati. That's the simple thing that Krishna says, that we have to remain on the radar of Guru. And then another thing is that I was, who asked? I think Arijit Prabhu asked yesterday question, that sometimes we hear so much, how do we ensure that at the time when we require it, we will get it? Sometimes we hear so much good things, but when it is required, our mind goes here and there. And we are not able to access the knowledge what we are doing. So there is, I was showing in the verse that the Guru's blessings is that Shastras, you can use it at the right time. If you read Shastras without Guru's blessings, we may read the Shastras, but at the time when it will come to apply the Shastra, you will not be able to apply. But if you read Shastras under Guru's blessings and you are ready to be under the discipline of Guru and get the blessings of Guru, then we will be able to use the Shastra in the right time, at the right place. Like Shastra says that be careful with getting your mind distracted to here and there. But if Guru's blessing is there, you will be able to use that Shastra. So that's what it comes. I was showing the verse to Arijit through. He was asking certain questions. So in that way, achalitam mati will come when we are ready to be under the discipline of the Guru. Okay?
I'm ready, Prabhu.
Okay, we are all ready to be under the discipline of Srila Prabhupada, and that's how we are surviving in ISKCON, because we are ready to follow what Srila Prabhupada is telling in his books, and all our Gaudiya Guru Sisya Sampradaya, our Acharyas, Rupa Goswami, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whatever they have said, we are using our mati as their instructions as the boundary for our mati. Okay, within Prabhupada's instructions, आप इधर उधर घूमते रहिए, उधर मत जाइए, boundary के बाहर. So that's the point. Okay, our mati is chalitam, flickering, but let it remain flickering within the boundary of Srila Prabhupada. Right? Let us, so that at least we do, then it is fine. And Prabhupada has created a big boundary actually. गोविंदास में जाके खा सकते हैं. कौन आचार्य गोविंदास में खिलाया अपने शिष्यों को, बताओ? You name one acharya who has given his शिष्या's permission that के पिज्जा पास्ता खा सकते हैं गोविंदास में, वो भी डिवोशनल सर्विस है. So Srila Prabhupada, as a merciful Acharya, has created a big boundary. Within that boundary we remain, now we are safe. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Sisya Sampradaya ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Dhruva Maharaj ki jai, Vancha Kalpataru Vaishya Kripa Sindhu Vyacha Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.